Today's guest is Travis Johnson. He is the organizer of Nonprofit Architect Podcast that provides podcast production services ranging from professional, nonprofit, and veteran podcast. Travis' story brings perspective and hope from 36 moves, 12 schools, 6 states, 5 foster homes, and survived 2 murder attempts, and currently active duty officer of the United States Navy. I want to give a shout out to support all our troops. Please give a warm welcome to ever blessed Travis Johnson.
The reason I moved around so much, and people are like, "Oh, were you military?" I was like, "You think the military moves an entire family twice a year, every year?" And they're like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Yeah, do some math with me here. 36 times before graduating high school."
Wow.
And they're like, "Oh, that's insane." And they're like, "Yeah, it is." And so is my mom, which is why we moved so much, because every time she needed treatment for bipolar disorder, we would end up living with a different family member or going into a foster care system or whatever needed to happen. And we were right across the border in Minnesota for most of this. You never know where your next meal was coming from. You never sure. You didn't have a routine. You didn't have people that you could trust around you. And it's not like today where you can just hop on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever and send someone a message. If you didn't have their, phone number written down in a hold on to this, you young kids, an address book,
A Rolodex.
like a Rolodex. If you didn't have that information written down somewhere, you didn't have it.
Right.
You either memorized it, or it was written down, or that was it. So if you go somewhere and you make friends, which I am really great at making fast friends. I don't know how many long-term relationships I have. I was always meeting new people. And it's one of my favorite things about my life now. It wasn't back then. As long as I am who I am and I follow, that I'm going to be who I need to be. And that allowed me, it was a long journey, but it wasn't until like my mid-20s where I realized I was doing good stuff. I really wasn't necessarily in scarcity or survival mode. And then I started following the right group of people in the Navy at work. Be around the people that you want to be like. So those were guys that were doing well in their career, that were strong in their faith, that had great families, that were trying to get themselves promoted and really fight for that career and education. And as soon as I made that switch, and I'm also an active duty naval officer, and I've got the Veteran Podcast Network. We've got 40 shows hosted by veterans covering business, trauma. We even have a comedy show on there. A lot of good stuff, a lot of good content. And then you can also check out like all my guest appearances. So like,
thank you for listening to Noise Paloo Zion Podcast. If you yourself is a small business owner, entrepreneur, musician, or artist, or liked what you heard, please share and follow. I am on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, or contact me at www.jasminecastillovoice.com. And stay tuned for the next upcoming episode.